Now, I hope the screen is visible. And since I normally refer to the websites directly, so this is the reason that this will be the maximum screen that you will be able to see. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, agriculture technologies and their implementation, making villages smart, is this the course or the short-term course. And the main objective of my talk will be on this implementation of technologies will be that to tell the participants about the various categories of agriculture technologies and to sensitize the participants about what role they can play in development of agricultural technologies and further their implementations. Means you can guide to the students that look, this could be the gap area where you can look into, and then they further work upon those implementation of the things that they learn. When we talk about things that they learn, means since I myself was earlier in NIT Hamirpur, so talking about the students who used to work in the extracurricular activity, be it mechanical, civil, or electrical, or electronics, where they used to talk about all their sensors and the mechanical components. But unfortunately, they always used to talk in terms of projects and not products which are usable in the market. So when you start searching about this implementation of technologies, the very first document which has been recently released by NABARD, that is on this, just recently in 2022, Agricultural Technologies in India, a review. And this document has been published by PK Joshi and Deepak Varshney. And if you refer to this whole document 92, so what I've done is that this is what I normally do. I select what is the most relevant ones. Now, this paper of 92 pages aims to analyze the level of adoption pattern of different technologies as well as constraints in scaling up these technologies across various commodities and geographies. Then again, this executive summary of this particular paper talks about that the main objective are that what are the, if it is repeated, that adoption level of improved technologies and their impact on farmers' income. Now, when any of the student wants to work upon any of the implementation of technologies, then he should be very clear that when they want to talk about any technology being implemented, to what extent farmers' income is going to increase. And the farmers' income increase is dependent upon the agricultural production. At the same time, natural resources, whatever are there, they are getting depleted. So it has to be seen that whether it is to be used in optimized manner. Then further, they are also talking about what are the constraints in upscaling improved technologies. The major issues what you will find is in the coming papers that one of the researchers has written that in Indian context it is difficult to talk about scaling up because 85% of the farmers are marginal farmers, and you cannot think of using up these technologies. This is the reason that when you talk about drone using these drones for spray of fertilizers or pesticides, then at that time individual cannot do. And this is the reason that now many of the students are coming up by providing services of these particular drones for the spray, for spreading up urea and so on. What are the rate of return of this agriculture research and extensions? And then as I talked about that, what are the various categories of these agricultural technologies, then these are something around 9 technologies categories can be there. Either you talk about genetic enhancement. So genetic enhancement is what recently you might be hearing about GM, genetically modified mustard. So I do not know to what extent these genetically modified are useful or harmful, but obviously those things are obviously there, that many a times the companies when they push these things, so it needs to be seen that whether it is really not harming the human. Then next category of technology intervention can be in terms of natural resource management. Then a third one is farm mechanization, conservation architecture, agriculture, climate smart agriculture, biotechnology and genetic modification, biofortification, frontier technologies, and digital technologies. So these are the various categories under this agriculture technology, basically where you can talk about different categories of these, uh, you know, categories where the implementation can be done. Now, so here you can see again these nine technologies, what they have written is repeated. And if we start moving ahead one by one, that is under genetic uh, enhancement. So since this genetic enhancement is more to do with this biology or biotechnology side rather than other, technical. So hence, I mean, I'm not getting into these details because this is what the details you will find that they have written with respect to uh, the genetic enhancement basically. Now, here, when it comes to this, the next component that is 2.2, that is the natural resource management. And it is in this natural resource management that you talk about one of the technologies, that is adoption of micro irrigation technologies such as sprinkler and drip irrigation as a huge potential too. And in this, if somebody uses a name, then Jan Irrigation is one of the big companies which is into the supply of the sprinkler and drip irrigation. And I still remember when one of the student who was there from the Bihar, and he said that, "Ki, sir, even we face lot of these issues of basically, water." So then what he did was that he has developed with the interconnection of pipes, he has developed a movable sprinkler system so that you just, give it a push and then you take it forward. So these are the kind of, products that the students can think of. And nowadays, even for firefighting, in the case of huge high-rise buildings, the drones are being used. So similarly, it needs to be seen that if somebody wants to have a mobile sprinkler system, whether such drones can be used to sprinkle water. And the results reveal that these top five states, that is Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, since they are the states where basically it's basically they face the water issues a lot. So maybe they have gone for such kind of micro irrigation technologies. Whereas unfortunate part is that since here in the Punjab and Haryana they have a network, so they are using the water just like anything. And in contrast, the neighboring states, Haryana has 10% under micro irrigation, especially in area where the groundwater quality is brackish. And adoption of micro irrigation technology in Punjab is mainly due to dominance of rice cultivation. However, it may be pointed out that the research is still in progress how to use micro irrigation in rice. So the basically low adoption, that's what because they are going for rice and it requires a lot of water, and unfortunately we are compromising with the natural resources that is available with us actually. Then another technology when you talk about natural resource management is land leveling to improve the input efficiency, especially for of water. When your land is not leveled and if you are giving water to it, then obviously there will be a common accumulation of water at a low lying area. And then these efforts have shown a positive and significant impact in adopting micro irrigation technologies, improving water use efficiencies, and increasing the agricultural productivity. So your question could be, sir, what can we do? So several efforts have been made in the past to promote laser land leveling, especially in the northwest states of India. So now it is here that many a times we say that what kind of startups or what kind of work that students can do. Obviously, if they talk about high precision using all those particular theodolites and various other in case of civil, if the students are able to come up with such kind of services of providing laser land leveling to the farmers, then maybe that kind of startups can come up across various parts of the states. Then another aspect which is there is inorganic fertilizer, and there are three challenges in the optimum use of fertilizer and pesticide. One is affordability of balance and judicious use and environmental degradation as this. We'll not talk about affordability because that is another aspect, but we talk about judicious use of fertilizer and pesticides. Now it is here that the technology plays a role, that whether the students can come up with such kind of instruments which can be given to the farmer and he is able to check. Unfortunately, we don't have those kind of technologies in the field, and the farmer are directly saying that yes, whatever the technologies that you have is limited to your laboratories rather than it is there with us. Or if not given to the farmers, at least the students should be able to take it in the field and see if such pesticides and other chemical usage can be optimized. At present, let me tell you what is the scenario. In the field, farmer when they are growing this, since I can talk about Punjab and here where they grow wheat and rice, when they are growing the wheat, they find a kind of weeds which grow, and what they do is that they just use weedicide without any calculation. And now what has happened that weedicide has also become weedicide resistant, means it doesn't impact much. The name is gilli danda. And so the question is that do we have the technologies such that we talk about optimum usage of these particular removal of it, or if there is any mechanical, any other technologies you can think of where this VD side usage can be reduced. Then another direction which is there is for this conservation technologies, and upper Indo-Gangetic plain is facing serious challenges in terms of depletion of natural soil, natural resources, especially the soil and water. Well, you just go to this Central Groundwater Board website and you can just see the number of water stressed uh, blocks or the districts across India, and then you will be able to come to know that what severe situation we are going through and with what serious situations we'll come across in the future. And these are related to rising production costs, declining profitability, mainly on account of declining organic matter content and carbon in the soil. Now, why this organic matter is uh, reducing? Because we are extensively using chemicals to kill those all those microbes and other things, and even we don't want to go for all those mulching methods of agriculture. That is another part, but then this is what is the major issue: extensive tillage and imbalanced use of nutrients. That's what I said, that since we hardly get into such kind of of how to actually come out with technologies, this is the reason that we have an imbalanced use of nutrients. Growing menace of residue burning. You can just see that every year in the November there is always an issue between Delhi and Punjab, that from where this particular smoke is coming up and so on, and then steeply falling groundwater. Now, especially in the imbalance use of nutrients and so on, let me tell you that recently IIT Kanpur student has actually come up, or they have come up with a new path-breaking invention, that is Bhu Parikshak, which is a rapid soil testing equipment. Now, the point here is that once such this equipment has come up, who is stopping other institutions to come out in parallel with some other technologies, with some other thought process, and so on? So here you can see this revolutionary rapid soil testing device launched in this market. And it just, if you talk about present situation of testing the soil, you need to give it to the laboratory. It will take 2 3 days, and it's whole 1 week basically job. So here you can see demonstration of Bhu Pariksha. This Now, the objective of showing this complete document was that, or the video was to tell you that if you ask the student to work on such kind of practical issues, sorry. So if you ask the students to work on such kind of practical problems, which are actually the requirement of the society, then maybe those kind of projects which the students are working upon will get converted to the product form once they move out of the institution, or if after their graduation they get attached to your institution, they come out with such kind of products. The most important component of conservation agriculture are leisure land. I've already talked about. The adoption of constraints include lack of awareness about the concepts. That's what the students can form such kind of startups where, because when I talk about startups nowadays, although startups involve the word innovation, but it's not necessary nowadays that they talk about innovation, but it is all about spreading the awareness about the technology and then use of those particular technology. Non availability of machines and or services for laser land and zero tillage in 2022, when any writer who is writing the nabard is saying that, look, we don't have the availability of these kind of laser land leveling device, then who is stopping the institutions to come out with such kind of instruments, and provide it to the society? High cost of machine, talk about some kind of machines which are low cost. Obviously, maybe if these are high cost of machines, maybe that they are taking lot of import duties and various other transportation cost, or maybe other research cost and so on. Lack of competence for repair of conservation agriculture related machines. Yes, the unfortunate part is that we might be having lot of theoretical knowledge, but we lack the competency that how to actually repair all these particular equipments and so on practically. Coming up to this next direction, just I will be moving through one and I will be just going on posing the questions so that the participant they themselves can think of that, oh, we are really not working or we are working into that direction. Climate smart technologies, CSAs, which they call. So there are several components to climate uh, smart agriculture, which is including stress tolerant cultivars. Well, we don't get into this on the direction of biotechnology, which talks about minimum tillage, laser land we discussed about. Weather advisory, well, weather advisory nowadays are coming up, but there are complaints that well, anyhow one cannot think of such kind of getting into weather advisory, but there are recent issues where if you watch these Kisan channels and so on, so their farmers did complain that you said that there will be a rain, but it did not rain, I did not watered it and so on. So it means that localization of weather advisories is what is actually required. Energy management, site specific nutrient management, I showed you one example, and such examples need to be replicated. Then the next direction is biotechnology and genetic modified crops. So agricultural biotechnology is being used as a scientific tool and technique to enhance genetic potential and to reduce risk due to biotic, abiotic stress. This include genetic engineering and so on. But again, there are pros and cons. It cons in the sense that when you go for genetically modified crops, there are issues which are being pointed out by various organizations regarding the side effects which or harmful effects that these GM crops they have. Biofortification is a process by which nutrient density of food crop is increased through conventional plant breeding method. For example, high iron pearl millet variety provide up to 80% of daily iron need. Zinc rich wheat varieties provide 50%. So if you say that what kind of technologies, then basically such one needs to see that what kind of database does these, with respect to all these, obviously there will be a database which is existing, but whether they are easily accessible, and whether demand versus need, in the sense I'm talking about, there is one area where lot of iron deficiency is there, and one has to link it with lot of medicines what are being consumed. So if you start producing their high iron pearl millet variety, it is all to do with the supply chain, and supply chain is all to do with all those artificial intelligence usage and so on. There is a direction for frontier technologies known to have positive implications for agricultural food system. These include protected agriculture, precision agriculture, vertical farming, and hydroponics, among other. So these are the components of these frontier, and the specific case studies on protected agriculture report earning of high returns. When you talk about protected agriculture, means the agriculture where you have all these greenhouses, or when you talk about hydroponics, again they are basically protected agriculture, because you control all those nutrients or even the water of those particular plants and so on. So here, but then all these frontier technologies, they come up with the challenges as well. That knowledge of the farmer about establishment of the structure, inclusion of crop and supply management. This is one of the major issues which is being, the gap is there and which is needed to be filled up. The supply and then demand and supply aspect. Emergence of new pests and diseases associated with the controlled environment. Yes, as you have already seen the aspects of mutation, heat management inside the protected, quality and taste issues, post harvest issues, and so on and so on. And the second prominent is the precision agriculture, where it is collecting of timely geospatial information on the requirement of soil, plant, animal, and accordingly prescribing and applying site-specific treatment to increase agriculture. This is what is precision, where basically you talk about new tools like remote sensing, GPS, GIS, and so on. So again, those institutions where you have all those GIS softwares and GPS softwares, when the students are learning it, are they using these kind of information and connecting it with the, just as a project? Basically, are you using these kind of things what they are talking about for the welfare of the society nearby? Those are the questions which I will pose. Another is hydrophonic. This hydroponics is coming up like anything. You just check hydroponics for those who do not know. So here basically hydroponic system for the beginners. So here you, So you can just see that these are some of the technologies which I showed of that of hydroponics, and then so one can, if you somebody said that, well, why I should go for, well, it is free of chemicals, and the food from hydroponic is safe and healthy. This is the reason that this aspect of use of hydroponics is growing in the urban cities like anything. There they are able to put it in the balcony, and then you get all these kind of, your green leafy vegetables from your own balcony itself without soil. So new challenges again, climate change, degradation, undernourishment, and so on. So this particular document was all about talking about this categories and review, which I have talked about. I move to the next document, that is study of effective implementation of agriculture technology management agency through case study in Bihar. Now, I showed you a document which is of 2022, where they talk about some of the challenges. And this document is of 2014, which has been written by from Dheeraj K. Singh, and then of Division of Soil Sciences, CPRI, Central Potato Research Institute, Shimla, Division of Agriculture Extension, Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi, with a colleague. And here you can see that in 2014, what they talked about, that there is a need and demand based intervention to farmers by institution like Atma, that is I'll talk about, that is Agriculture Technology Management Agency, Agricultural Technology Management Agency, which was launched in 2005 and 6. They talk about commercial vegetable. Commercial is highly remunerative, and this is what is now taking up through hydroponics. Training of farmers, which is required, exposure visit. Farmers can be motivated for adopting improved technologies, microcredit loans. And in 2022, again, they say that there is lot of, you know, implementation issues of these technology. So what I want to come up is that the most unfortunate part is that we have been developing these particular technologies, but these technologies unfortunately are only limited to us and not in the hands of farmer directly. So whatever the companies, they want to sell their VD sites, pesticides, their seeds, they are approaching the farmers, and then it is only those curious farmers who want to learn something that they come up to the level of institution, and then finally they change their way of plantation, and then finally they are able to uh, gain more, have more income, which is actually the requirement of the society. But then there are very few, and you can have those examples when you, if you, somebody of you are interested in watching Kisan channel. Now, this Atma was talked about. So it's aim at making extension systems farmer driven and farmer accountable by way of new institution arrangement for technology dissemination, that is Agriculture Technology Management Agency at the district level. And they have all these particular participants of Panchayati Raj institutions, NGOs, KBKs, and so on. And so this is all about this. And then this is actually National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, Hyderabad, is offering all this, PG diploma in agriculture extension management. So okay, the next document is a study on adoption of modern agricultural technologies in Bihar again. And here, if you find in 2014, Transfer of technology has been a major obstacle in achieving the target in the past, which I said that yes, in institutions we have, but transfer of technology is a major issue. And what you can do is that data were collected. Now they have collected the data similarly in your local area. Your students, if it is applicable, they can work on this information on profile of farmers, irrigation status, crop production, use of input. I don't say that you talk about all the parameters, but you see that which parameter you feel that students should survey, and finally see the gaps and then accordingly work upon it. Package of practices, participation in agricultural development schemes, government assistance, knowledge about modern agriculture technologies, livestock, fish production, and government services in allied sector, etc., were obtained from sample and so on. And then here in one of the tables, you can see that problems in monitoring the agriculture schemes is infrequent supervision, training and demonstration, inadequate feedback from the farmer, lack of unity of command on agriculture officer, farmer meeting. So there are many such issues which are there, which the institutions can see that if they can ask the students to, again form some small company and then sort out these kind of issues if they exist. Then uh, again, when you talk about implementation, so major hurdles in technology implementations are, if we were to talk about, then these are some of the ones: unskilled manpower, standard inceptions, means that whatever we are doing is perfect, there's not much change that is required. Disintegrated market means that where we have the production and where actually it is needed, that is what we say it as a disintegrated market. Well, if you want to give an example, then you just write tomatoes grown Maharashtra, and you will find a lot of such pictures where Maharashtra farmers have grown these particular tomatoes and then they have been just thrown here to be eaten up by. And then later on, what then you say that is somebody not working? So there is an now the government has come up with this farmer producer organization, and this farmer producer Sehadri Farm Seeding Goodness. If you This is a farmer producer organization uniting smallholder farmers in where the technology is being, provided to the small farmers, and then here you. When we talk about technology implementation, we only do not talk about कि भाई, if I am a mechanical engineer, please talk to me only in the sense of machines. If I am an electronics engineer, please talk to me only in terms of electronic machines, sorry, electronic equipments, components. If I am an electrical, if the student has to apply the technology, then he should have an understanding of in and out, that where his machines are going to fit, where the electronic equipments are going to fit, and so on and so on. So if I showed you the example of Sehadri, this did not, if you can see that they said that our quality improved. If you want to go for those all precision agriculture, then obviously one will have to have that kind of an understanding. Now, uh, recently, this is one such document of World Economic Forum where AI, artificial intelligence for agriculture, how Indian farmers are harnessing emerging technologies to sustainably increase productivity. And it is here that this is the framework where you talk about intelligent crop planning, macro planning models, micro planning models, extensive extension planning, credit planning, micro irrigation planning, and so on. Then you talk about smart, you talk about mechanization of farm, smart micro irrigation, pest prediction, smart insurance, yield prediction. So you need to see that where does your student fit into with respect to the learning that they are having. When you talk about, this was intelligent crop planning, smart farming, again these are the various category. Farm gate to fork means you have from the farm to gate, that is from the fields to the table. And so there you require market intelligence. Market intelligence means where is the requirement of that particular produce that is being produced. Quality and traceability, logistics. So quality and traceability, supply chain optimization, fintech, warehouse supply, cold chain, and market linkage, demand and price prediction. Many of the students, they are presently working in this particular direction of financial technology, especially from the computer science and the electronic side. Quality and traceability is where you require. And let me tell you, the major issue what India is also facing is that they are not producing the equipments which is required. Mostly they are being imported at present. Data driven agriculture, for DMP, for agri data set, fair standard, master, and so on and so on. So these are the various basically directions where the students can work upon. Okay, just a minute. I'll copy this. Okay, so now I earlier talked about agriculture technology and implementation. Okay, so these are some more links are there. Fourth number. Okay, this we have already covered. Relevance of information and communication technologies, impact of ICT on agriculture and information technologies. So this is one such organization, that is cropin.com. This is a startup where it talks about Cropin apps, Cropin Grow Smart Farm, Connect. acre square crop in trace. I'm just showing you the examples, and here role of a revamping modern agricultural technologies. So this is one such startup which is actually working in this particular area. And here you can just see the uh, this is what is the career requirement that at cropping. Okay, so here this is their here, if you we can just see that what is there basically. It takes a single person to see all these particular position. So they require a data engineer, Bangalore, Karnataka, UI developer, smart risk, Bangalore full time, and so on. So similarly, there are many such startups which are looking out for such kind of those students who can work. And then once you are into this, later on you can think of your own startup and so on. Atma, that is Appropriate Technology Management Agency. The objective of showing this web page is that government of Nagaland, Mokokchung district, everywhere this Atma, they have actually opened up their own separate website. So similarly, for those participants who are there in their own areas, they can think of getting associated with Atma. They can see that whether you can approach them and just say that, look, whether you want any kind of further technological development supports and so on with the students, then you can, get associated with them. Uh, the government comes out with such kind of, for those who are interested, there is a Kurukshetra journal on rural development, and then from here you you can just get a look into the agricultural technologies associated with so here there are 637 kvk with a mandate to function as a knowledge and resource center of agricultural technology at the district. So the new extension initiatives which is there is the Atma which I have been talking about. There are one or two websites are there. Okay, this I am showing it because many times when somebody asks that what why this particular directly website, so here you can see Publications Division, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India. This is a journal information for all the public that notice to take down information under the Section 79 3B Information Technology Act 2000 relating to the content of Kurukshetra and Yojana. Now, information related to the content of Kurukshetra and Yojana published by this division is being hosted, displayed, published, and transmitted and or shared on platforms, social media accounts, websites, study material, etc., which is unlawful under IPR. And in light of the above and under section this again of IT Act, the above mentioned content is to be removed on an immediate basis. So why I'm showing this is because normally we take up some information from some websites and then we present it. My request will be to kindly acknowledge them or directly show them their websites so that there are no issues of IPR. So similarly here Atma Shimla, here you can see that appropriate technology management, they have their own website. Here they have the organizations schemes and then budget and downloads and so on. Similarly, that is there of West Godavari and so on. Constraints perceived by farmers friend of Madhya Pradesh now of Atma in implementation of Atma. So even the studies, some of the authors have done the studies that was there in 2017, that what are the issues when you talk about Atma. So why again I'm showing this is because you can just see that what kind of interventions that your organization can do. It is clear from the data that majority of the respondent reported lack of staff at block level, conservatism of block level officer, demonstrations are not conducted adequate and timely, poor contact between farmer and agriculture officers, lack of training and visit program by this and so on. So these are although some of the drawbacks or the issues the deficiencies which are being talked about. So my question is that why don't your institution take up such kind of issues and try to fill up the gap if it exists in your area? And then these are some of these administrative constraints, these are socio-economic constraints, these are infrastructural constraints, these are personal constraints, these are situational, and then there are suggestions in this. So again, getting into this each doesn't make any sense. It is only that you can just look into that what work the faculties and the students can do in their own area. Uh, Agriculture technology option. This is a document of ICAR Research Complex for Goa. And what they have done is beautifully that for each sections, here you see, for each section, they have, written down that what are the package for management of mine reject soil, direct water catch pit for off season, cashew based, and so on and so on. So these are under resource management and integrated production. This is under crop improvement. This is horticulture. This is animal science, and this is fishery science. What we do is that we just take up any of this uh, resource management and integrated production. And the moment I go to this integrated and so on, or maybe let me take up this another where I've highlighted, that is resource. So transfer of technology programs are organized for farmers comprising both off campus and on campus. So one is that the major is that whether your institution also conducts such kind of transfer of technologies if you have developed, or if it is there just like that. And then technology package for management of mine reject soils. So this is the technology, this is the additional income generation with the adoption of technology package. So they have adopted a standard format where they one by one they talk about additional income, they talk about estimation cost and so on and so on. So this is one such document which was related with respect to the Goa state. Similarly, Atma Ranchi is there. Okay. Role of artificial intelligence in transforming India's agriculture, and the major priorities and issues for Indian agriculture is small and fragmented. Now, these are that's what I told you, that many students they have now started up forming up small startups where the small marginal farmers, if they are there, and then they are giving them services in a collective manner. Simple, like you have somebody coming up for your AMCs for lift, for your water coolers and so on. Similarly, they are providing the services or to all those particular small and fragmented land holdings. Shortage of good quality seed, manure, fertilizer, bio for the poor peasants problem of irrigation and heavy dependence on monsoon, lack of mechanization, soil erosion, absence of agriculture marketing facilities, and so on. So, how AI will impact AI embedded system to detect pests and weeds? Is your institution working in this direction? Agricultural robotics, predictive and analytical precision farming. If some of the students are working on that, just check that whether they are working in a project mode or in a product mode. There is a clear cut distinction. Student work in a project mode, which is not acceptable in the society as a product, because there are lack of feasibility, you don't do the testings, and there is lot of failures. So if really student want to come out with something which is usable for the society, it has to be in a product form. Analyzing the health of crop by the drones, crop and soil health monitoring system, use in weather forecasting to detect unpredictable weather conditions. The point here is that where is it that I'm talking about the knowledge that any technical institution should have with respect to agricultural productions and so on. I'm only talking about what knowledge as a mechanical engineer you have, what knowledge you as a computer science you have, what knowledge as a instrument, maybe analysis of health of a crop. Obviously you require instruments powered by drones, then health monitoring system, these are equipments you require, that is as an electronics engineer, and so on. So this is what is being emphasized upon. There is an institution. Okay, that is IIHSHR, Indian Institute of Horticultural Research. They also have the agricultural technology information, and here you can see uh, they talk about all those, basically the services that they are being providing on soil health management, soil testing, leaf analysis, plant health management, pesticides, and so on and so on. So the issue is that whether the students they are capable of taking these things, are these particular, because I told you they said that we carry out soil testing. What farmers point is that you give me a machine in my hand, and the bhu parikshak is a very appropriate example to it. They say that we can't send the soil with courier, you do the testing, you ask me to submit the payment, and then you give me reports. They said that give the instruments in my hand to do all those particular tests. That is what is the requirement. Just okay. Indian Council of Agriculture Research, let us talk about some of their technologies. So these, so if you refer to the agricultural technologies, these are the technologies which have been commercialized and these are ready for commercialization. That is of crop science, horticulture science, agricultural engineering. So let me open up instead of crop science, the agricultural engineering and agricultural for commercialization. So here you can see all those farm machinery. This is ready for commercialization. So any student can take up these technologies and see that if they want to spread it in the society. And then these have already been commercialized, means they have already been purchased. Now there are terms and conditions of if you approach them icar, that what is the, so there are some royalty that one has to pay, and then finally they give you the technology and then you can carry out the production. That's, this is how these things are working basically. So innovation and new technologies in the farm sector, and this is the recent report of Press Information Bureau, Government of India, that over 2000 new crop varieties released during last 9 years, and they have been imparted these particular trainings. But what we want to focus upon is the technologies or the technology. And here you can see that these, all these 11 technology applications, these have been developed and all those are getting highlighted. So the point here is that whether your institution is, ready to take on some of the gaps which are still there in the case of such agricultural technologies. This is, just a minute, I will open up some of the more links. This is Directorate of Extension Education, Tamil Nadu, Agriculture University, and they have their own Agriculture Technology Information Center. The objective of showing is that you can just see that you can visit to your nearby Agriculture Technology Information Center. Transforming rural Maharashtra through disruptive agriculture technologies. And so this is the smart agtech uh, integration facility that is 2022 launch, and so here they wanted to talk about the disruptive technologies which can be used for the rural Maharashtra. So then there are a lot of such technologies, disruptive technologies are there. Instead, I would was thinking, let me remove these terminology. But then, what are the disruptive technology examples? Are e-commerce, online news websites, riding share app, GPS systems, and so on. These are all those particular disruptive technologies: Internet of Things, cloud technology, advanced, and so on. So you just have to see that where does, you know how your students can fit into this rural disruptive technology aspect. Then these are some of the ICRIs at why I opened up, although this is at the international level, but then they have their office in India as well. So Indian small holder farmer could benefit from growing confectionery peanut market as first ever high oleic ground variety adapted to India. And so this was that particular report. So this is one such organization which is again working at the international level, and India is part into that organization. Okay. Yes, yes. This document was on digital technology, a new era of agriculture in digital technology. This is a new, as I told you that I normally will, watch this Kisan channel and so on. So there nowadays they have opened up a new section called as digital finance. So now the farmers are being tested. So the point here is that to what extent you can, your students, your institution can work in the spreading the right knowledge about digital finance or digital literacy in the agricultural area. Unless and until they are, very much conversant with this such kind of digital information, they will find the issue of implementation. So the casual factor leading to digital is food wastage, whether your institution can work for the reduction in the food wastage. uh, Threats of climate change. Now climate change, again, most of us are only hearing it, but it has lot of in-depth requirement of knowledge is there with respect to carbon credits and other things, advances in internet services, advances in remote sensing, and so on. Most advanced agriculture technologies, tractors on autopilot, swath control and variable rate technology. Okay. Irrigate via smartphone, sensing your crop is feeling, field documentation, biotechnology, and so on. Uh, I also wanted to talk about there is one institution called as CIFIT, Central Institute of Post Harvest Engineering and Technology. And this institution, these are the technologies of CIFIT. They are making all those particular mechanical machines. So the point what I'm trying to say is that this is an institution where it is providing the products to the society. The point here is that are all the products that they have given are sufficient, or still there is something more which can be done? If something more can be done, whether your institution can make such things. So here you can see all those list of these technologies are there. One can get into these details, and these are the authorized manufacturers and address. So later on, as I said, that it is up to the student, they make such kind of machines and then they finally sell it in the market. So this was all about these are all related to this CFET technologies that they are. What I showed you is with photographs. This is there on their own website. And then further all these links of APC, ABI, their testing charges, these are all related to the various schemes. So they have APC, that is Agriculture Processing Center, Agriculture Business Incubation, and then the third one. And then these are all having this agro processing center, food testing laboratory. These again require, if you say that what is that we have the role, well, with for this food testing laboratories you require machines. Are all the machines being made here, or are there some machines which are being imported? Then agri business incubation, these are further those technologies that has been developed. And I have already talked about one, this crop in, and this is another organization, avanijal.com. So as I've already told you that there are many such companies which has come up. I also wanted to show you this testing charges, grain dryer. These are the charges that they take for testing all those machines. The point here is that these machines, is it that your institution can also does carry out such kind of testings, or moisture content, crude oil content? Are these all equipments which are tests that are being carried out, are all those equipments being manufactured in India? If not, then whether your students can work on that direction. To Okay, this Avani Jal. So this is that organization. These are their product. Avani's automation solution consists of IoT based irrigation and fertigation and control, and LoRa wireless node for remote valve and the motor controls. So basically, these are all those equipment that I normally hear from these electronics students about LoRa wireless nodes, IoT based from the computer science. But here you can see that they are talking about the application in an appropriate manner. To finish up on this lighter note, that this news in the Economic Times have come up that Silicon Valley layoff are boon for tech hungry farm equipment manufacturers. So for those students, or sorry, those employees who are coming back, maybe that they will be able to give their technical skills or the inputs to the tech hungry equipment manufacturer, not only equipment manufacturer, but also the IoT based, or drones, whatever these technologies you talk about, if they are able to give some input to the Indian agriculture system. Thank you. So in case there are any questions.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Vinayak. So, participants, any questions coming to your mind? Any thoughts? Anything you'd like to share?
Madam, I'm Soumya from Danekla, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, I'm very thankful to Hemant Kumar sir. Sir, we are from, especially most of our faculty are from CSC department, and we are at present working with the TVI project with based on agriculture, and you have given us a very good insight of how we can imbibe our technology into agriculture and various resource of study for us and various scope of research. You have given us a very good insight, and we are very much thankful to you for this, sir. And especially, I just want to share one more thing with you, sir. Very recently, as part of our research with agriculture, we have visited Pranadara Research Organization near Bapatla, very near to us. And they are in line with the technologies, whatever you have described, and we are going in the right direction. We are very much thankful to you, sir, and we carry forward the things which you have done, which you have shared with us. And I request you to share the content and the material also, so that we can move forward further, sir.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, why
Thank
I discussed this was because, as I told you, that when I was there in earlier my institute, there the student came up with the concept that Sarki, with the mobile, you can just control the operation of this particular motor by putting up all those electronic gadget and then his mobile apps on. Then I asked him that, okay, let us move to the field and let me show there. So there basically the student just gave up saying, sir, ye pata nahi kaam karega nahi karega, I don't know whether it will work, and then he never turned up. So why I'm sharing these examples are that kindly motivate your students to work in the practical scenarios rather than controlled laboratories or in the institutions.
Yes, sir. We are into it, sir. We are especially conducting our workshops related to IoT, especially so that students can, most of the agriculture units, they need a lot of work with the sensors, where they can practically make it possible. And with that efforts only, we have designed a aquaculture monitoring, crop monitoring model also, sir, where they can observe the pH levels of the aquaculture and all. Right now we are working into the aquaculture model, sir. But we are even having a good insight of what is the direction you have given. We will train few more students in this way also, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, but it would be better if sometime in some courses you say that, look, sir, you can visit this particular link to purchase our product, because that's what we are looking into.
Yes, definitely, sir. Thank you, sir.
Because from institutions, for other institutions also, let me tell you that what is the present requirement is that, are you able to give any product to the society? What product you are giving to the society. One product, no doubt, you can directly say that, look, sir, our products are the students. That is taken. But along with that, now the demands are coming up that along with the students, whether you are giving any product in the form of from the department like mechanical, did you give any machine to the society? Electronics, did you give any equipment to the society? Computers, what kind of apps you are giving it to the society for sale or for free, say supposed to start with, and so on. Otherwise, you can just see that most of the time when we are just purchasing it, we just you know that where from which country it is mostly coming up, all these gadgets. Yeah,
Good
Thank you.
afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
yeah. Good afternoon, madam.
Yeah, myself, Dr. Monal Datta. Sir, actually, I would like to ask you one question regarding, I mean, you have talked about so much of implementation of modern technologies and the gadgets in case of the agricultural field where to improve the practice of agriculture. But, sir, the major bottleneck may be to train people because they are the rural people. So, first of all, they need to know how to implement those technologies or advanced technologies or the advanced equipment. So, that is one thing. And yeah, if we go for the genetically modified crops which you have shown in one of your slides, so there are some health issues or the side effects as you have referred. So there, because of that, now there is a trend of gradual shifting from the genetically modified crops to the organic foods, but the productivity rate is quite less. So can we just overcome this problem? What is your suggestions?
One is that you have said that the farmers need to be trained and talked about how to implement this. So this is what I'm saying, that the students, they will have to come up, form small companies. Your technologies are there with the institutions, research institutions, and maybe the technical institution, and they will have to bring it to the farmers. The second, what I have started saying is that these students need to be hand-holded by the institution itself. When I say hand-holding means the institution should talk about positioning in the sense that they should give them the infrastructure to sit and coordinate with them that what kind of role that you can play. And for all these things, you say that where you will get the money. Well, obviously, once they form a company, they will form a structure, and then finally they are giving the information to the society. All these software as a service. See here, this software, this cropping companies which are SaaS. So here you can see the big technologies companies such as Sales, Microsoft has created their own cloud SaaS. SaaS means software as a service. And so these are all those so companies which are SaaS in agriculture. So here you can see that what are the SaaS solutions is an efficient farming method. So there are basically company is Swiggy a SaaS. SaaS software is a SaaS is a software as it includes non-infrastructural related cloud products. So see how much Swiggy spends on SaaS, the product they use and the application they operate. Is Flipkart SaaS? Is payment Paytm SaaS? Is Amazon SaaS? And so on and so on. Here you can see the whole list is coming up. So
Okay.
what I'm trying to say is the student, they themselves make a company. They approach to this farmers at the local level. Who supports it? Their own institution. Unfortunately, if the because we are always talking about training and placement cells to give them the job, but if they don't get the job, are the students supporting them after their graduation? This is what I'm actually talking about. So it is here that student will have to come up with the hand holding. And let me tell you, for those NISP, for those who have not gone through this document of National Innovation and Startup Policy, they should go through this 40 page of National Innovation and Startup Policy. Sorry, this is not a PDF. I'm just, yeah, this one. This is a document of AICT, National Innovation and Startup Policy for Student and Faculty, a guiding framework for higher education institution. And if you just search keywords, here you can see 1%. So the institution should allocate, they have not made it mandatory, but minimum 1% fund of total annual budget should be allocated for funding and supporting innovation and startup related activity through creation of separate innovation fund. First of all, this aspect is there. Second is, because since I used to deal with these problems, they have categorically introduced very practical measures in this 40-page document. Student entrepreneurs should be allowed to sit for examination even if their attendance is less than the minimum permissible percentage with due permission from the institute. 9.5%. In return of the services and facilities, the institute may take 2% to 9.5% equity or stake in the startup public company based on the brand used, faculty contributions, support provided, and use of institute's IPR. A limit of this is suggested so that institute has no legal liability arising out of startup. So nobody is stopping any faculty to be the part of that startup as well. For faculty, staff and faculty, institute can take no more than 20% of the share, and staff and faculty takes while drawing full salary from the institution. However, this salary share shall be within the 9.5% of the company share. So once those students have formed a company, there is some kind of an understanding between that company and the institution, and then your teacher itself become a part of that company as well. Whatever the share, once the company grow, if there are some particular profits are there, they will give some part to that institution, and then finally this is how the cycle has to grow. Kindly, there are these kind of models are going on this institute of national importance like IITs and NITs, and I think it is the time that other institutions should also follow this model.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Any other participant?
Yeah,
Good
good afternoon,
afternoon.
ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Dr. Sambit. Yeah, please.
First of all, I would like to thank sir for sharing the vast knowledge on many techniques. I just curious to know about one technique, that is hydroponic farming that you have discussed previously. So I just wanted to know, can you please share any reference or your idea uh, in a little bit in depth, so that we can have detailed knowledge how we can actually adopt this technique in a location like Bangalore. Basically, I want to know what are the different requirement like climatic condition or maybe nutrients. These all kind of requirement. Can you please share any thought about it?
See, the moment you write, just search, since you are in Bangalore, you will be able to find lot of companies. So hydroponic farming company, and these are, I'm just searching here. So here like Rice Hydroponic, Urban Kisan, and so on. You have Cochin, Brio. So I'm just checking if I will be able to search Bangalore. So Bangalore-based Bit Mantis Innovation, Bangalore-based IoT and data analytics startup has developed Green Sage, an IoT solution that allows individual and commercial farmers to grow fresh herbs year around without effort. And Green Sage offers uh, micro edition, green edition kits, and so on. So they are basically in the, let me open up this then, BITMANTIS innovation. See here, this is that company. This company.
Dr. Vinayak, maybe you like to share your screen so that
Okay,
we can
sorry,
see
sorry,
you.
sorry, sorry. Okay. So here I just first searched hydroponic companies. In this hydroponic companies, agri farming top hydroponic company, here it was. Since the question was that okay, from Bangalore, is there anyone? So Bangalore based Bitmentis innovation, you just search Bitmentis and here Bitmentis launch rock. So here this green sage and all this, here I have to be. This is the one basically variant. And so basically, one needs to really check hydro. If you say that what actually this hydroponic is, so hydroponic is, it is without soil, they use the chemicals, and then with that chemical one can actually grow that these particular leaves, simple. So here one has to really see the Bangalore based, just a minute, I'm just hydroponic Bangalore. Hydroponic farming in Bangalore, how to start, set up. One just have to, search, and then you can get lot of such companies in Bangalore. Okay, let me just open up this one more video. This is in Bangalore only. Hydroponics labs. So I so this is hydroponic lab. It is in Bangalore itself. So I'll just share this in chat box, and you can contact them that look, I want to grow hydroponic. And so here you can see hydroponic training, hydroponic systems, plant list. They have given that whole detail. So this is basics of this. You can get into these details. Then these are all those plant lists that you can grow. And then this is the course online which you can take up basically. Okay. I'm just sharing it in the link, as well as I will put it in this my presentation as well. Yes.
All right. Any other participant? Okay. So if nothing in the chat box also. Okay. So if there are no more questions, we'd like to thank Dr. Vinayak for being with us this morning and for a very
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
informative.
ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਲਾਂ ਵਿਨਾਇਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਜੀ
Hanji, Hanji, Joga Singh ji, good afternoon.
Okay.
ਗੁੱਡ ਆਫਟਰਨੂਨ
Okay.
ਮੈਂ ਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ So, Vinayak sir, I'm very happy to listen all the things from you. Actually, first time na, we did this all the things in the field. So I did in the agriculture, this organic farm. I think we have the about 1 acre farm is there. From the director from the NITTTR also visited there. And similarly, we also make the product in our labs because we have all the details are there, especially grass cutter machine. I think we have sent to all the polytechnics of Punjab. And then we have the tillers. So हमने तो इनका उनसे किया था, लेकिन I think it requires dedication to devotion to rise it. We teachers should not be theoretically or reading the things. So I will also share, madam, my about the experience because on Monday we are also going to visit one village in Punjab that is Chakkar. They have provided all the technologies and even case for skill training, and they are also thinking if they have any player from their village or academy, they had deposited 3 crore deposit for international level. They have the so in my new institution, we all are going to there because I retired from Gunade Polytechnic. So especially your courses I try to attend because these are very informative courses you are holding. So
Thank
I also listen to Jeet Kumar. He has broad knowledge. So tomorrow I will also listen. So it is very good information, and so I have the knowledge about the because I did 3 or 4 villages in Punjab, and they did very nicely. So first and the previous time, some field also they have reserved in a litter for this. I think when Dr. Rice there, they have also some agriculture like this. I think in Australia, all has been converted. So for this, only this some colleges or any things, they need the demonstration. First, there were all the technologies. I constructed all the technologies at Gulnag Polytechnic, especially maybe rain harvesting, all the this compost tanks and technology for preparation, low cost these things. So yesterday, I think architecture Baga discussed about the lorry baker technology. I had a thorough knowledge because we constructed the guest house with the lorry baker. But for that, we have taken the lessons from Delhi. But in Punjab, these people didn't adopted that technology because it's soundproof, they heat the insulation that is best. So carry on. I will also attend. So congratulations, madam, to you and this Dr. Vinayak for this. Thank you.
Thank you, Jogaji. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Actually, sir, this is the problem that even since I had told I was teaching in the earlier institution to students, students are mostly focused to the books, to their examinations, to the assignments, and most of the faculties don't give them the exposure of the technologies which are required in the society or which are required in the field or what technologies they can actually develop. And this is the reason that as Joga Singh ji has said that yes, our knowledge is most of the time highly theoretical. So we need to orient the students towards practical technologies which are there. Means they should be able to relate their classrooms, lectures with what is actually there in the field. If that is not being related, then it means that there is some gap between the knowledge, theoretical and the practical. Madam, you're mute.
Any other questions, participants? Okay, so thank you so much, Hemantji, for joining us and for a very informative session. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, participants, we'll break for lunch now. Everyone join back by 2:25 p.m. and make sure that you mark your attendance for this session and don't miss that. We'll keep the link open for another 5 minutes. No problem.
Thank you, ma'am.